The story of Moses and the parting of the Red Sea. Exodus 14:1-31. The Israelites had been enslaved in Egypt for 400 years. God sent Moses to lead them out of Egypt, performing miracles, including the 10 plagues, to convince Pharaoh to release them. After the final plague, the death of the firstborn Pharaoh finally let the Israelites go. However, he soon regretted his decision and pursued them with his army. As Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, they traveled toward the Promised Land. God guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. However, Pharaoh changed his mind and sent his army of chariots and soldiers to capture them. The Israelites found themselves trapped between the vast Red Sea in front of them and Pharaoh's army behind them. Fear gripped them, and they cried out to Moses, saying, "Why did you bring us out here to die? It would have been better to remain slaves in Egypt than to die in the wilderness." But Moses reassured them, saying, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the salvation of the Lord today. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." God spoke to Moses and said, "Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the waters so the Israelites can go through on dry ground." Then, an incredible miracle occurred. The pillar of cloud that had been leading them moved behind the Israelites, standing between them and the Egyptians, blocking their advance. God sent a powerful wind that divided the Red Sea, turning the seabed into dry ground. The waters stood like walls on both sides. The Israelites walked through the Red Sea, safely reaching the other side. Once the Israelites were safe, Pharaoh's army pursued them into the sea, but then their chariot wheels got stuck, and panic spread among them. They realized God was fighting for Israel. As soon as the last Israelite had crossed, Moses stretched out his hand, and the waters rushed back, drowning Pharaoh's entire army. The Israelites rejoiced and sang praises to God. Moses and his sister, Miriam, led the people in a song of victory, praising God for his mighty power. "The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. The Lord is a warrior. The Lord is his name." Exodus 15:2-3. Lessons from the story. 1. Faith in God overcomes fear even when situations seem impossible. God can make a way. 2. God is our deliverer just as he saved Israel from Pharaoh. He saves his people from danger. 3. Obedience leads to miracles. Moses followed God's instructions, and the impossible happened. 4. God fights for his people. The Israelites didn't need to fight. They only needed to trust God.